Good morning, students. This is H. Pawan Kumar, lecturer in zoology. Today we are going to discuss about the topic is evolution of digestive system. So this is comparative animal physiology topic. The digestive system is one of the earliest to form during embryonic development. Embryonic alimentary canal is endodermal in origin and the term primitive gut. Archaeopteryx or mesenteron. Its part containing yolk are connected by a narrow stalk with yolk sac is called midgut. The anterior part of midgut is called foregut and posterior part is called as hindgut. Foregut forms the oral cavity, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, most of the small intestine of the adult. Hindgut forms the large intestine and cloaca. And next, alimentary canal. In alimentary canal, the digestive tract in vertebrates is long tube that starts from the mouth and ends at the anus or cloacal opening at the tail end. The main parts of the alimentary canal are oral cavity, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine. The various modifications of alimentary canal in the different vertebrates include the lengthening of various parts by looping or coiling. Next, formation of diverticula or enlargement, example crop, cecum, stomach, compartments. Next, third one is development of internal folds, spiral valve, villi, papillae, etc. Following outer growths arise from the alimentary canal: oral glands, Rathke's pouch, thyroid gland, gill clefts, tympanic cavity, trachea, lungs, swim bladder, liver, pancreas, yolk sac, and urinary bladder. Next, histology, that means wall of the alimentary canal. So observe this picture. Wall of the alimentary canal has 4 layers. They are serosa, muscular coat, submucosa, mucosa. In serosa, the outermost layer is called serosa or serous coat or visceral peritoneum. It is absent in esophagus. It is continuous with the mesentery. Next one, muscular layer. Below the serosa, there is a muscular layer. It is composed of smooth muscle fibers arranged in odd outer, longitudinal and inner circular muscle fibers. These muscle fibers are actually arranged in spiral form. Between the two muscle layers, there is a network of nerve cells and fibers. This network is part of autonomic nervous system and is called the myenteric plexus. And next, submucosa. Beneath muscular layer, there is a layer called submucosa. It is a connective tissue layer containing elastic fibers, nerves, blood, and lymphatic vessels. Glands of the duodenum are present in the submucosa. Next, mucosa. The innermost layer is called mucosa. It has 3 regions. First one, muscular mucosa. Second one, lamina propria. Third one, a basement membrane. Next, we observe mouth. Mouth is the anterior opening that leads into the oral cavity and shows many variations. In gnathostomes, the mouth is usually terminal, but in elasmobranchs, sturgeons, it is located ventrally. True fleshy and muscular lips are present only in mammals. In fishes, amphibians, the most reptiles, the mouth is surrounded by simple. Next, oral cavity or buccal cavity. The space between lips and the jaws is called the vestibule. Vestibule is bounded outer side by cheeks and inside by the gums. Mucous glands open into vestibule. The mouth opens into the buccal cavity, which is the space between the mouth and the pharynx. The elasmobranch fishes and most bony fishes, the nasal cavities do not open into the buccal cavity. In lungfishes and tetrapods, the nasal cavities open into the buccal cavity through internal nostrils. In crocodiles, birds, and mammals, the internal nostrils shift backwards due to the development of secondary palate. The secondary palate separates the nasal passage from the mouth cavity. The buccal cavity contains following structures. First one, teeth. Teeth are hard and pointed structures attached to jaw bones. Two types of teeth occurs in vertebrates. They are epidermal teeth and true teeth. Epidermal teeth are derived from epidermis. Example, lampreys, tadpole larvae of frogs, and toads and duckbill platypus. Duckbill platypus belongs to which phylum? Mammalia. Next, true teeth. True teeth occur in all vertebrates except agnathas, sturgeons, some toads, sirens, turtles, and modern birds. Teeth are polyphyodont, ecrodont, and homodont in fishes, amphibians, reptiles, but diphyodont, thecodont, and heterodont in mammals. Teeth are similar in structure to placoid scales of sharks made of dentine with a crown of enamel and are believed to have evolved from bony scales. Tongue. The primary tongue of fishes and nectarus is immovable, non-muscular and sensory with teeth in some teleost. Tongue of most amphibians is sticky, attached at the anterior end and free at the posterior end. In turtles, crocodilians, some birds, and whales, the tongue is immobile. In sharks, lizards, some birds, and mammals, the tongue is long, highly protractile, and used for food capture. In some lizards and sharks, in some lizards and snakes, it is forked at the free end and retracts into a basal shape. In most mammals, the tongue is attached to the buccal floor by the frenulum. Human tongue is very important in speech. Next, oral glands. Oral glands, there are two kinds of integumentary multicellular glands opening into the buccal cavity. They are mucous glands and enzymatic glands. Fish and aquatic amphibians have only mucous glands, but reptiles have glands in groups. They are palatine, lingual, sublingual, labial glands, named according to their location. In poisonous snakes, the upper labial glands are modified into poisonous glands. Mammals have salivary glands which are enzymatic. They are parotid, sublingual, subaxillary, and infraorbital. They secrete mucin and ptyalin. Next, pharynx. Region between the oral cavity and esophagus is pharynx, lined by endoderm. In fishes, the pharynx is large and perforated by gill slits for aquatic respiration. In tetrapods, it is short and acts as crossroad for respiratory and food passages. Esophagus. Esophagus is a simple muscular tube connecting pharynx to stomach. Its length depends on the neck length. It is very short in fishes and amphibians but longer in birds and giraffe. In many grain feeder birds, esophagus forms a paired or unpaired membranous sac is called crop. Crop means for storage of food. In pigeons, the crop has crop glands in both sexes. They are really not glands but cell forming structures. The cells form pigeon milk, which is fed to the young. The activity of crop glands is controlled by lactogenic hormone, that is prolactin, secreted by anterior lobe of pituitary. Histologically, the esophagus differs from the rest of the alimentary canal. The three facts. Firstly, esophagus has no visceral peritoneum because it lies outside the coelom. Its outermost covering layer is a thin tunica adventitia. Secondarily, the muscle fibers of anterior part of the esophagus are stripped. The middle part is both stripped and non-stripped, and the posterior part is only unstripped muscles. But ruminants have stripped or voluntary muscles all along their esophagus. Thirdly, mucous membranes lining is made up of stratified squamous epithelial cells and not of columnar cells. Stomach. The sac-like muscular enlargement of alimentary canal between esophagus and intestine is called stomach. The first part of stomach next to the esophagus is the cardiac region. The middle part may form a sac-like fundus, and the lower end is pyloric region. There is a particularly no stomach in cyclostomes and some fishes. In most fishes and tetrapods, the stomach is dilated for storage and digestion of food. In elasmobranchs, the stomach is J-shaped. In frogs, the cardiac end is wide, there is no fundus, and the pyloric end is short and narrow. In lizards and snakes, the stomach is spindle-shaped. In crocodiles and birds, the stomach has two parts: proventriculus with gastric glands, a highly muscular gizzard which represents the pyloric region and has a hard cornified lining for grinding food. In mammals, the stomach is divided into three regions: cardiac, fundic, pyloric. In ruminants, that means cow, stomach has four chambers. First one rumen, second one reticulum, third one omasum, fourth one abomasum. The first three chambers are modifications of esophagus and serves as food reservoirs. Only the last chamber is the true stomach containing gastric glands. In camel, omasum is absent, The rumen and reticulum have pouch-like water cells for water storage. Why? Because camels present in large time present in deserts, so they have water cells for water storage. Next, observe this picture. Small intestine. The part of alimentary canal following stomach is called as intestine, in which digestion and absorption of food take place. Intestine is most important part of alimentary canal and undergoes several modifications in vertebrates. In cyclostomes, elasmobranchs, some primitive bony fishes, intestine is short, straight and wide. Its inner part is typhlosole and spiral valve, which is increase the surface area for absorption. The small intestine tends to be longer in herbivorous animals than in carnivorous ones. The small intestine has many digestive glands called crypts of Lieberkühn. They produces and secretes the mucus and digestive enzymes called as succus entericus. The small intestine has three parts. They are duodenum, jejunum, ileum. In mammals, nodules of lymphoid tissue called Perrier patches are found on the ileum. Next, large intestine. Large intestine, small intestine and large intestine. The large intestine is generally short in fishes, amphibians, reptiles and birds, but in mammals it is long. In lower forms, the large intestine forms a rectum, but in tetrapods it has colon and a terminal reticulum. Rectum. In most vertebrates, the terminal part of the rectum is cloaca formed by the proctodecium. The rectum, excretory ducts and genital ducts open into the cloaca, and it opens into the exterior by a cloacal aperture. In many bony fishes, all mammals, the alimentary canal and urinogenital ducts have separate openings to the exterior. The opening of the alimentary canal is an anus. In elasmobranchs, the large intestine has a pair of rectal glands which secrete mucus. In amniotes, there is a ileocholic valve at the junction of small and large intestines. At this point, colic arises in most animals. In man, primates and some rodents, the distal end of the colic has degenerated and its ruminant is a vermiform appendix. Next we will discuss about digestive glands. Liver, pancreas. First we discuss about liver. The liver develops as a single or double outgrowth from the ventral wall of embryonic archenteron. This outer growth forms a hollow structure called as hepatic diverticulum, which branches and divides into two parts, anterior part, posterior part. The bile ducts join together to form a hepatic duct. The hepatic duct and cystic duct combine to form the common bile duct. The area from where the liver develops later becomes the duodenum. In the beginning, the liver is made of endodermal epithelial columns, but later mesodermal cells join to form the adult liver. The liver is largest gland in body. Liver is present in all vertebrates. Liver is elongated, narrow and cylindrical in fishes, urodils and snakes, but short, broad and flattened in birds and mammals. Liver is bilobed in elasmobranchs, 2 or 3 lobes in teleost amphibians, reptiles and birds, and many lobed in mammals. Liver is relatively large in carnivores than herbivores. Liver cells produce alkaline bile which is stored in gallbladder. Bile contains no digestive enzymes. A gallbladder is present in all higher vertebrates. However, it is absent in many birds and many mammals. Pancreas. Pancreas is formed from endoderm of the embryonic archenteron. It is the second largest digestive gland. Pancreas plays a crucial role. It is partly exocrine, secreting digestive enzymes through pancreatic ducts into duodenum, and partly endocrine, secreting hormones. A pancreas is present in all vertebrates. In lampreys, some teleost, lungfishes and lower tetrapods, it is distributed diffusely in liver, mesenterons and interstitial wall, and probably only exocrine in function. In elasmobranchs and higher tetrapods, pancreas is well defined and compact. Typically, pancreas arises as 1 or 2 ventral diverticula from liver bud and 1 dorsal diverticulum from embryonic duodenum. Distal portions of diverticula divided to form acineous type glands, 1 dorsal pancreas and 1 ventral pancreas. Both may persist as in fishes, but more generally the two unite to form a single gland as in tetrapods. Proximal portions of diverticula form pancreatic ducts. The ducts open into duodenum. So this is comparative study of digestive system. So thank you, students, and once again observe this. This is cyclostome digestive tract. This is fish digestive tract. This is cyclostome digestive tract. This is fish digestive tract. This is elasmobranch digestive tract. This is frog. That means amphibians digestive tract. And observe here, this is reptilian. That means turtle digestive tract. This is pigeon. That means birds. This is mammals. Example, man. So, thank you, students.